What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite dating coach, Elliot Scott, and as you can see by the title below, we're going to talk about what does a man need to commit to a woman nowadays. I know you're having a hard time getting a guy to commit. Does he actually have to love you to commit nowadays? We're going to go through all this, okay? Now, if you want to get a guy to commit easier, I always say the vehicle in doing this is attraction. Attraction is the currency. The more you have, the more you can make a guy do. That's why I created a ebook or an e-guide down below for you guys to have. It's very lengthy and in depth on how to maximize attraction and get a guy to see you long term. Speaking long term, we're going to I'm going to kind of pivot off that and then go from there. I think a guy, obviously, to commit, he needs to see you long term. Now, that sounds like common sense, you know that, but let me explain something. And I talk about this in the guide. In the beginning, what a guy wants is completely different than what a guy wants long term. Short term, long term are two completely different things. To get a guy hooked for the most part, it is the attraction, it is the chemistry, and it is looks, okay? That's to get a guy reeled in and liking you and things like that. You know, do we get along? Is she awesome? Is she cool? Is she attractive? And things like that. But what makes a guy stick around long term? That's what you guys want to know. What makes a guy stick around long term? And you have to demonstrate these 5 things when you are talking to the guy. And I'm not saying you just kind of have to go out of your way to do it. It should be natural. It should feel natural. A guy commits to these 5 things. I wrote them down right here, okay? So the first one, ladies, this is just true. You have to be the best option. Now, the problem with this is a lot of women think more logically, and they think, well, obviously I'm not the best option. There's always better out there, statistically at least. And while that's true, it's the marketing and the packaging on what makes something grand. You know, if you're in front of him, you have the opportunity to demonstrate your value, and vice versa. He should be doing the same with courtship and investing in resources and building a chemistry and connection with you, and vice versa. Again, vice versa. You need to be doing the same thing. You need to be looking hot. You need to be showing that you guys have a great connection, that you are funny, that you do get him, that you do get the inside jokes, that you actually have inside jokes. Something that he can look at you and be like, okay, I have this connection, I have this thing that is different from other women. And guys keep going back to the details, okay? I always say the details, the details, the details. Whatever you guys have, whatever you guys can create, it's going to stick up in here more than something casual he has with someone else, okay? So you have to be the best. He has to believe, okay? You have to market it in a way. And guys need to do the same thing, that you are the best option. The second thing is, unfortunately, ladies, you have to be a very attractive man or woman. You could be a man, whatever you're into. You know, you have to be a very attractive woman to the guy. Guys, listen, women don't like this. It's just the truth. Guys don't date ugly fucking chicks unless that's all he can get. And you can flip this around. Guys will never commit to a woman long term if she doesn't have a great personality. So you kind of have to have the two. And again, the problem a lot of women run into, and I hear this a lot, you know, it's like, well, everyone can be cute. Everyone has a decent personality. Yes, that's true. But if you focus on my guide, the stuff I talk about in my guide, I talk about like tribe. You know, like, are you in the same tribe as him? So for example, what I mean by that is, I rather have a girl who I feel fits my personality, my interest, my life, and my lifestyles. So I'm a nerdy guy. So if you're a woman who's into like now this is impossible to find, but like League of Legends and, you know, anime and games and you know, that kind of like comics and nerdy stuff like that, you know, and she's a cute girl, she's going to stick out much more likely for me than the super hot cheerleader. I don't give a shit if you're a cheerleader. Who cares? I have no interest in cheerleading or anything like that. Just doesn't, you get what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't mean anything to me. So you guys have to be in the same tribe, and tribe is usually something with values, interests, similar interests, like core values and things like that. Like if you both are really into church and religion, stuff like that, that could be part of a tribe. things like that. The next thing is assets versus liabilities. You have to be a woman with a lot of assets and limited liabilities. So assets are usually anything that a guy is going after in terms of his particular goal. So if his goal is like just physically hooking up, then yes, the assets are going to be, you put out easy, he doesn't have to work for it. Those are assets. You're very attractive. You have a nice body. Like, those are all assets. But when it comes long term, assets are great communication skills. Maybe he's impatient, so you're patient. That yin yang, that kind of balance. Again, you are attractive woman. You're fun to be around. His family loves you. You live close to him instead of far away. Like, these are all assets, okay? While liabilities are the exact opposite. Maybe it is long distance. Doesn't mean long distance can't work. They can. But I'm just saying it's really hard when it's like, well, I'd rather you just be right here. Or maybe his family doesn't like you, or maybe you're drama, or maybe you're very needy, clingy, maybe you're extremely jealous, maybe you're high maintenance, maybe you play games, maybe something happened to you in your past and you're kind of like, reflecting it or kind of pushing it on him, whatever. Liabilities. A guy wants a woman with high assets and limited liabilities. The next thing is you have to make him want to be a better person. There's nothing better in life. I'm not saying the man can't have his own ambition and purpose and stuff like that. He should. His purpose and mission should be the number one thing in his life. But when you have a woman in your corner who supports you no matter what, okay, who is there, who is your personal cheerleader, your personal coach, and you guys are a team. It's more of a we, it's more of a us instead of you and I or you and me. That just the team mentality is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Of course, a guy's going to want that long term. And lastly, I have here is his life better with you in it than without. Is his life better with you in it than out? If he feels without the shadow of a doubt that his life is amazing with you in it, and again, and in all these other things, you're one of the best options he can get. You have a lot of assets and limited liabilities. You're very attractive, and you make him want to be a better person. Why would this guy not commit? Now, of course, it's because he's emotionally unavailable. Oh, there's the kicker. But we're talking about emotionally available guys who do want relationships. If you have those 5 things, he will commit to you long term. So to answer the original question of this video, does a guy have to love you? No. To commit to a woman, I think it's just the simple, he's an emotionally available guy. He's an emotionally available guy, who likes you, wants a relationship, finds you very attractive, sees you kind of long term, and then he commits. Then it's these 5 things that makes a guy, I think, fall in love with a woman. Now, love is subjective, but these 5 things makes you very, very valuable on the market. And if you can direct and market this or package this where you are a specific, it's like niche almost, like you're a specific thing for him that he needs. And again, I talk all about this in the guide down below. Guys, commit. I see it all the time. I get clients results all the time because they are actually talking to healthy men who want relationships, and then I tell them to do these 5 things, and we kind of break it down, and they're in relationships. So with that being said, ladies, I love you all. Take care, and peace.